Oh, hey there, soggy cereal. A friendly reminder that honesty delivered without grace and tact and gentleness is just being rude. Welcome back to Mikecroscope. My name's Mike. Oh, hot dog and hamburgers. I'm happy to be in the chair again here. I can see that you're excited too, you little nerd. You're cricketing your feet over there. Welcome back. It's a fun time learning an episode, and today we're learning about Ophyrotrocha, polychaete bristle worms from the ocean. Ophyrotrocha, and I know the spelling's pretty wild there, is a genus of bristle worm that are found in the ocean, also known as polychaete worms. They're annelids, like earthworms and leeches. So let's talk about them. The average size is 1 to 5 millimeters, but that can really range upon the different types of species, and there's a whole bunch of different species of Ophyrotrocha, so that can depend. The color of the bristle worm depends upon the species. The ones that I have, when they're adults, they're like a reddish, pinkish color, but when they are larval, like we're seeing here, they're kind of translucent, more or less having no true pigmentation for the most part. The body's made up of 3 big old segments. The head, which is there, has the eye spot. The jaw is there too. Then you got the trunk, which is all the digestive system, and then you got the back end, which you know where food goes with that. It poops. You see those little leg-like, centipede-like things? Those are called parapodium. And what those do is they help them crawl along and move through soil and move through stuff and scoot around and swim. It's pretty cool. But further, they have these little tiny hairs called setae on the end of them, which probably just increase surface area, allow for more gription. And that's a scientific word. It's grip and friction, all in one. Gription. A jaw is really interesting. They use that jaw to snatch out, grab the food, and pull it into the pharynx, or in through the mouth, into the pharynx. Yum, yum, yum. They can have a digestive system and a reproductive system, which we'll get into. The genus of bristleworm we're talking about, Ophyrotrocha, is only found in the ocean. However, there are a few polychaete species that are found within freshwater, but those are not as common as the nearly 10,000 species that live in the ocean. So you can find them all over the ocean, in shallow parts and deep parts. When they're larvae, they float the surface with the rest of the plankton. I mean, the list goes on with these little bristle worms. And when they're adults, right, they'll actually turn into a sessile form, which is they don't move. They'll burrow into the ground and stick their little tubes up. It's pretty cool. The food depends upon environment and the species that we're talking about, but the ones that I have, I see them eating mostly algae in the sample tank, so cool. Lifespan of these little goobers, again, depends upon the species that we're talking about. Could be around 100 days average, give or take. When it comes to reproduction, they have both reproductive organs, so both of the partners will mate with each other, right? And then bam, both of them lay eggs. Here's where things get really wild with Ophyrotrocha. They exercise parental care. What they'll do is either one or both of the adult worms that have been responsible for laying the eggs, they will lay on top of those eggs, cleaning them, protecting them, and making sure they're okay. It's pretty cool. We don't really see that very much in the microcosmos, but it does happen. So it's pretty cool to see that it happens here too, even though these things technically aren't microscopic, so it's not the microcosmos. But let's not split hairs here. Come on. Having both reproductive organs is just the beginning. There's different reproductive processes that they have because there's many different species, and you know, Mother Nature just doesn't want to give it to you straight, but that's how you got to take it, you know? When it comes to any ecological significance, of course, they're going to be breaking down organic matter, which may help keep bacteria in check. If there is a lot of organic matter, you know, they eat it all up. Bacteria is like, oh, we don't get to grow and eat? Dang. But as with everything, if it eats, it's going to excrete waste in one way or the other, so you're having nutrient cycling, and then it's going to be, the poop is going to be like good for like algae and bacteria. As the good old saying here, everything is food for something at some point in its life. So of course these are going to be eaten by things like fish, crabs, snails, but also, I mean, they're going to be decomposed upon by whatever decomposers around, and bacteria. So yay, it's a food source too. Gee willikers, rat man, wasn't that a really fun episode? I've sure had a lot of fun with that one. I hope you did too, learn about the Ophyrotrocha, and if you didn't, but make sure to love yourself and be kind to one another. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.